Okay everyone, so let's start to go and work on adding a new tile here. It's going to rename this into platform2.png. It's an old tile that I made before. And let's just go lay that out also. I know that there's a much better way to do this, but for the meantime, let's just do it this way. And we do have our first tile platform here, the platforms that we have here, but I don't want that to be that way. So what I'll try to do here is try to refactor this, and I'm just going to go and have all of this inside of a function, and I'm going to use a function platform1, and I'm going to paste that there, and then let's try to invoke that back on where we took all of those code. And now if I try to go back to our browser, now if we try to refresh this should still be working the same way as we have done last time. We can still jump, we can still collect the wheels, and I have done some advanced testing for the platform. So we now have a function that we're invoking inside of the create method, and let me just copy paste what I've so far done here. So we have 780 to 20, 600 to 560. We can add some more comments here if we wanted to. For the meantime, this is the approach that I'll be looking into it, but I'm sure this is a framework, so most probably there's a way for us to be able to lay out some tiles using a tile map. Perhaps I'll try to create another video in relation to that. So we do see that we have more platforms, and we can still jump on those platforms. Now let's try to go and create another platform too, just to test out and explore. So I'm just going to create a platform2 function, and then I'm just going to paste in also some values that I've already used in advance. As you can see here, let me just format document with prettier. And this is ground 2, and we'll have to also go back just as a little bit of review. We know that we were able to implement adding that platform by adding an asset here, and we can just call this ground 2, and this is going to be platform 2. And in here, let me just go, so we're referencing this platform 2, and we would want to go and test adding the platform 2 here, and start to also invoke that in here, and platforms tiles. Okay, so let's try to see if I did this correctly. I think we still have to do one more thing here, because we do have the player and the platform. Let's just first test things out and see what will be produced for us. Okay, so we do have some platforms, and we also have some collision on those platforms, and we are still able to collect some of those wheels. So basically what I just did is that I have a platforms. I'm still referencing this collision between the player and the platforms, and what I only change will be the ground 2, which is a reference to this load image that we have in our preload method. And we do have, let me just also paste in some more values here that I did some advanced testing, and you can play around with this, of course. I just did some early testing just to save some time for this video, and you would see we do have, I try to refresh, we do have those balls in those platforms is still bouncing, and we're still able to collect them. And if we try to add some more, let's have additional, say I'm going to call this 12 or 10. Let's have 10 wheels. And we do have those wheels now ready for us to collect and play around with. And I just think that the jump is a little too high for the player. So I think we can try to also adjust the jump height of the player. And if we try to go back to our code, we know that the jump height is in here, and we can try to reduce this and test the value. Let's just say I want to have a 230 value for the set velocity y for the player. So if I go back to the player, now it doesn't jump too high, just enough for us to at least have a little bit of a difficulty to move around the platforms and being able to collect those wheels. So now we have that functionality, and we were able to add some platforms. Of course, this is just for testing, and we can try to further improve on how we lay out those tiles in our game world here. But for now, that's it for this video. Thank you, and see you on our next video.